Welcome to NTN Nightly. I am Jessie Leonce. This edition's top stories: more than 10,000 COVID-19 tests have been conducted to date as the island battles the novel virus. Thousands of Saint Lucians are benefiting from the recently launched electricity assistance program, and the winners of the first Taiwan Saint Lucia Lantern Competition are named. The Ministry of Health and Wellness has ramped up COVID-19 testing amid community spread of the virus. 124 tests were conducted on Monday, 26 October. There were no positive cases in that batch. Chief Medical Officer Dr. Charitable George on Tuesday provided an update on the national situation during a live press conference on NTN.
We presently have 36 active cases, 27 recoveries, and 0 deaths. The age range is from 3 years to 84 years. We now have 236 persons in quarantine. We've done a total of 10,291. I have to add the 124 from yesterday to bring it to over 10,000, about 400 tests done. On Sunday, we recorded the largest number of tests done in any one day, which was 439, and we also recorded the total number of cases, which we recorded on Monday, which was 9. The past weekend was also a record for us in terms of testing, where we did 1,539 samples were processed over the past weekend, and from the period the 11th to the 25th, we processed 2,567 samples in relation to the contact tracing for the increased cases that we are noting.
2 physicians are among the positive COVID cases recorded recently. Dr. Belmar George informed that one is a contact of case 39. There has since been massive testing at the Owen King European Union Hospital, the OKEU, with 119 tests conducted. This resulted in 1 case being detected.
The hospital, they've, in a very proactive way, from the time the contact tracing was done and even before the confirmation of those cases, they did put a plan together to see how they would quarantine those persons who need to be and to provide services to the public, because as you would imagine, this is our main public hospital. So in a very proactive way, they've looked at how they would recruit staff from other public facilities, also part-time staff, to ensure that emergencies are dealt with, and services which for some of the outpatient clinics are being provided within our community services. So far, from the 119 tests that were done, both staff, clinical staff and support services, we had 1 more positive which was detected within the hospital. So we anticipate that after the period of quarantine and retesting, we would gradually go back to normal. It also gave the hospital the opportunity to review their protocols and their policies to ensure adherence at every level within the hospital setting. So it is something which we've prepared for. We anticipated, especially the hospital is seen as a high-risk institution.
Operations at the Miku fire station remain suspended after an individual assigned to the station tested positive for COVID-19 on October 22, 2020. The individual is currently receiving treatment at the respiratory hospital. Chief Fire Officer Joseph on 26 October provided an update on the situation.
Staff on home quarantine and other members assigned to the station will undergo testing at various respiratory clinics. Arrangements will be put in place to get them to and from the clinics safely. Sanitization of the facility will also take place today, Monday, 26 October 2020. It is anticipated that once the process is complete, fire suppression services at the Miku fire station can resume as early as Tuesday, October 27, 2020. EMS or ambulance services will resume when the station returns to the full staffing capacity. We wish to thank the residents of Miko and environs for their patience and support thus far, and assure you that all efforts are focused towards returning to normal operations at your community station. The Miko community and environs are reminded to call 911 in the event of emergencies.
Thousands of Saint Lucians are benefiting from the recently launched Electricity Assistance Program. Details in this report.
Qualifying households are set to start benefiting from a $75 bill credit under the Electricity Assistance Program, EAP, as the government of St. Lucia continues to implement the nation's economic and resilience plan. The Electricity Assistance Program seeks to provide temporary relief to specific households for 6 months, starting October 2020 to March 2021. The EAP will benefit recipients of the Public Assistance Program, the Child Disability Grant, persons living with HIV/AIDS, and approved beneficiaries of the Income Support Program for non-contributors to the National Insurance Corporation. On Wednesday, 14th October 2020, a Memorandum of Understanding was signed between the Government of St. Lucia and St. Lucia Electricity Services Limited, which will govern the implementation of this joint venture and welcome its start.
The signing of this MOU is an indication of our care for the vulnerable groups in our midst. Placing them on our priority list as a government and Ministry of Equity is no doubt in sync with our proclamations and promises made in the past. The Electricity Assistance Program, known as the EAP, is another indication that in this challenging period, where resources are proving to be at its lowest, the government of St. Lucia will not be moved to abort any of its humanitarians and/or outreach programs.
According to Minister for Equity, Social Justice, Local Government and Empowerment, Honorable Leonard Montoute, the COVID-19 pandemic brought on a health and economic crisis, but the government of St. Lucia remains committed to strengthening safety nets and safeguarding the vulnerable from these shocks.
I can also speak very definitively of the increasing range of needs being articulated to which urgent responses are required. Notwithstanding, I can assure you that amidst such troubling times, the government of St. Lucia remains committed to protecting the rights and dignity of its population and to strengthening social safety nets that safeguard the vulnerable and at-risk households in our communities.
Prime Minister of St. Lucia, Honorable Alan Shastney, in his budget address on 23 June 2020, announced a package of recovery and resilience strategies that form part of the national response to the COVID-19 pandemic. At the MOU signing, the Prime Minister gave an overview of the nation's response, including other economic incentives rolled out for citizens like the Employee Retention Program, income support programs, and tax waivers for landlords and small business owners.
In recognition of the need to provide that support to the most vulnerable groups and segments in our society, while managing the limited revenue of the state, it is imperative that any assistance offered should be targeted in such a way that there is value to those who receive it. Consequently, the Electricity Assistance Program was designed in such a way that it met both these criteria, adding economic value to most vulnerable groups in our society and making prudent use of our limited financial resources.
Protecting the poor, marginalized, and most vulnerable of the population is a commitment the government will uphold as it continues to roll out programs such as these. Reporting for the Office of the Prime Minister, I am Danielle Dubois.
A prize-giving ceremony was recently held for the winners of the first ever Proud of Taiwan and Saint Lucia Lantern Competition. A collaboration of the Taiwanese Embassy and the Cultural Development Foundation, the contest was organized in observance of Taiwan's National Day, October 10th. Out of 12 of the most accomplished lantern builders on island, Gilland Averill walked away with a $1,500 first place prize for his lantern piece entitled Proud of Where I Am From. It was the winning project of the 2020 Proud of Taiwan and St. Lucia Lantern Competition, the first of its kind, coordinated by the Cultural Development Foundation on invitation by the Taiwanese Embassy to celebrate Taiwan's National Day. During the prize-giving ceremony, Executive Director of the Cultural Development Foundation, Ramona Henry Wynn, said the CDF targeted experienced lantern crafters for the competition in the interest of time.
We quickly called our participants. Either they were winners in previous years or they were facilitators at our training. Because in the interest of time, we felt that would have been the best approach. So we called them in, and everyone we called acceded to the request. They were excited about doing this competition. They did a level of research. They recognized the partnership that was so dear between the two countries, Saint Lucia and Taiwan. And that was displayed in the lanterns that were prepared, as you can see all around you. So to our artists, the CDF say, we are very proud of you. Bravo to you.
Local observance of Taiwan's 104th National Day celebration was held at the Sandals Golf and Country Club on October 8th, where the lanterns submitted were displayed for judging.
I have to say I was deeply touched by all the creative and spectacular lanterns when the moment the lights were switched off at our National Day celebration reception. And today, although this is the third time I see all the lanterns, it's still breathtaking. And art is something that has the magic power to connect people. And the proud of Taiwan and Saint Lucia Lantern Competition really show the beauty, the vitality, and the diversity of our two countries, and especially the strong ties between our two people.
Minister with responsibility for culture, Senator Fortuna Belrose, commended the CDF for pulling off the inaugural event that displayed the strong ties that the two nations share.
Last year, we sent a delegation to Taiwan. And when we send people off our island, it's for them to go, learn, grow, and come back and make a contribution. And what we see here is a clear manifestation of that. Last year, we sent a team out, headed by, of course, the chair of CDF, who is back here today, celebrating the occasion, with the Taiwanese ambassador through this lantern competition. This is what we want. And we do thank the chair of CDF and the team at CDF for the work that you did to realize this simple project that made a statement in terms of how we value our relationship and, of course, how we see the importance of the arts, within our society.
Winning the second place $1,000 prize in the 2020 Proud of Taiwan and Saint Lucia Lantern Competition is Perry Marshall for his piece entitled Our Gift to Taiwan. And the third place $700 prize went to Kirk Peter for his piece Thank You Taiwan, which also won a $500 People's Choice Prize for Most Innovative Lantern. The New Beginnings Transit Home for Children is the latest organization to receive some relief in light of the challenges presented by COVID-19. As part of its activities for Financial Information Month, the Bankers Association of St. Lucia has been journeying across the island to provide various homes with essential food items.
For many years, financial institutions across the island have been working together with the ECCB to observe Financial Information Month, as well as to promote financial literacy and empowerment. This year, members of the association have taken the time to visit various homes for the children and elderly across the island, with donations of food and grocery items. The latest visit took place at the New Beginnings Transit Home in the north of the island.
Aside from just financing and being a financial partner, we want to let the public know that we have a caring side because we are all impacted. We have families as bankers that are impacted. We have staff that are also impacted by COVID-19. And so we are all in it together. And so we just wanted to share some love and share some much needed items and recognize a need and to provide for it.
This donation marks the third for the month of October thus far. Manager of the home, Avis Charles-Inglis, says she's delighted to see that the global pandemic hasn't affected the generosity of corporate St. Lucia.
On behalf of the Ministry of Equity, the Division of Human Services, and the children and staff of the Transit Home, we would like to say thank you from the bottom of our hearts to the Banking Association for your generous contribution. It will go a long way in meeting the needs of our clients, not only those we have in-house, but those we also do follow-up work with. When they leave us, it will go a very long way in meeting their needs in light of the challenges that COVID-19 has all placed on us.
In addition to the donations, the Bankers Association has also been active in hosting other activities to promote Financial Information Month, including a live panel discussion on NTN on the topic Living Through Rainy Days.
We have the morning brew as well on NTN, where we give out information in terms of the various activities. We have our signature project coming up where we want to provide island-wide, schools island-wide laptops, because as you know, schooling now has moved to the new normal, which is online, and we have a lot of students, underprivileged students, who are not able, their families or their parents are not able to provide. We also have an essay competition coming up throughout the schools as well, dealing with our theme.
The New Beginnings Transit Home is a temporary residential place of safety for children between the ages of 2 to 16 years, who are victims of child abuse and severe neglect, and who are in need of care and protection. From the Government Information Service, Lisa Joseph reporting.
Up next, we have Primus Hutchinson with the NTN Nouvelle Creole.
A habit of daily caring for the teeth, tongue, and gums not only improves your oral health, it also helps maintain a healthy body. Here's how. Be sure to wash your hands and your food before eating. Rinse your mouth thoroughly after every meal and after brushing your teeth. Floss at least once a day before you brush your teeth along the lines of your teeth. Brush at least twice a day, including before bedtime. Ensure you cover the entire tooth surface. Avoid sticky and sugary foods, including candy, as well as carbonated drinks, as they increase your chances of getting cavities. Consume lots of water, fruits, and vegetables daily. Wait at least 15 minutes after having acidic food and drink, such as citrus fruits and soft drinks, before brushing your teeth. This prevents damage to your teeth's enamel. Visit your dentist twice yearly. For further information, call the Dental Services Unit of the Ministry of Health and Wellness at 468-5314.
Welcome back. We now join Primus Hutchinson for the NTN Nouvelle Creole.
Merci autant, Jessie. Merci, Madame, département qui nous responsabilité pour information en gouvernement Saint Lucie, GIS, et télévision nationale PA NTN, Caposato Nouvelle Creole, Presato Primus Hutchinson. Premier ministre Lucie, honorable Alain Chasney, félicite les membres publics pays là pour porter obéissance pour ces règles contre maladie corona qui vont finissement semaine journée Creole. Selon Premier ministre Chasney, disposition et façon que les membres publics comportent Creole devant finissement semaine est incroyable. Premier ministre a déclaré qu'ils savent si quantité difficile était pour cette lycéen comme ils peuvent ça célébrer et observer journée Creole en grand mode de festin culturel ça là comme des habitudes. Premier ministre Chasney note que décision pour établir règles en plus grave, décision pour annuler festin si on qui porte autant pèse à ce pédant que plaisir réalisé au résultat des protocoles qui est en place pour décourager grand assemblage. Premier ministre là regretté que cette lycée par de ça point l'avantage finissement semaine journée Creole et qui dit il pas même voulait catcher des gros pédants qui payent à espérancer parce qu'il les peuple par de ça point l'avantage de diverses activités sociales avec des gros profits qui peut être possible. Premier ministre Chasney remercie Saint Lucians pour déguer obéissance pour ces règles qui étaient en place. Et plus important toujours, yo pas bail ces polices la pièce 3 Et pour ça, Premier ministre là remercie yo en frontière. Premier ministre Chasney te plaît en particulier parce que la situation maladie corona j'ai commencé à se manger et crier à Saint Lucians pour prendre courage parce que tous ces cas déjà en quarantaine et que ça a montré que le pays a ni un degré de contrôle. Il a ajouté que malheureusement la possibilité a existé pour maladie à augmenter. Mais grâce à Dieu, l'hôpital Victoria j'ai bien préparé et que ça c'est une bonne nouvelle. Le Premier ministre a déclaré que cette liste est plus que 85 docteurs ECNOS hors Cuba qui a assisté ces docteurs ECNOS à pays et que ça encore c'est une bonne nouvelle. Le Premier ministre Chasney a conseillé le public là pour continuer à servir masque à suffisance à public, laver la main, respecter 6 pieds de distance. Et le Premier ministre là conseillé pour la nation essayer pour balancer santé et économique, mais pour placer plus de force à la société. Parce que ne pas ça vivre, ne pas ça vivre, bail ça qui jamais la vie vivre encore. Alors, le Premier ministre Chasney a applaudi cette Luciens pour déguer respect pour WEG durant finissement de semaine. Excellent, Premier ministre là, ça bail yon lo croyance pour WEG qui manière peuple comporter koyo et fait un appel pour nous tous continuer supporter Dr. Sharon Belma George et les officiers de santé pour redéguer le travail qui ont accompli et qui continuer pour accomplir. Le Premier ministre là promet que le gouvernement va continuer pour poursuivre tout support pour la nation et crier sur les citoyens pour travailler ensemble et puis parce que nous tous ensemble, ça gagne à bout de mauvaise maladie ça là en cette liste. En parlant de ça, chef officier médical Dr. Sharon Belma George, ensemble et puis épidémiologiste Dr. Michel François, était en grand studio, chambre studio GIS, ça c'est mardi bon matin, pour te présenter le développement nouveau concernant la situation maladie corona en cette liste. Selon Dr. Belma George, présentement, en parmi 66 cas maladie en cette liste, il y a 36 qui sont en isolation, il y a 27 qui répondent assez bien pour le traitement, et juste toujours la bonne pièce moun qui sont morts au résultat de maladie corona en cette liste. Selon CMOA, parmi ces cas pour les présents, en plus bas, c'est un petit enfant 3 ans. Pour plus haut, il y a un monsieur 84 ans de l'âge. L'année 236 personnes en quarantaine déjà, avec 10 400 tests déjà faits. Pour période sortie les 11 ou les 25, la tenue en hauteur de 2567 cas après exercice pour dégré contact et puis l'autre monde en relation et puis ces cas qui déjà existé. À l'hôpital OKEU, des docteurs trouvaient affectés et ça a été l'occasion pour conduire test en grande quantité à l'hôpital là, côté 119 personnes trouvaient testé. Selon Dr. Belma George, toute démarche était faite pour faire assurer que le service te continue pour le public là. Pendant l'hôpital là, te implémenté plus vite à ce règle là qui est à place. Et Dr. Belma George déclaré que le ministère de la Santé a conduit investigation à plusieurs places privées et publiques, par exemple, écoles, hôtels, accueil privé, cabaret, aéroport, avion et avion, en diverses communes, facilités sport, à parmi plusieurs autres côtés. Lundi 26 octobre, cette liste a enregistré 9 cas nouveaux. Ça, c'est une confirmation que le ministère de la Santé recevait. C'est ces cas-là, c'est femmes et 4 hommes. L'âge a commencé 12 ans pour ces 5 l'année. Ces cas-là, selon Dr. Belma George, sorti en Vieux-Fort, Castries et Gozilé, et qui ont toutes en quarantaine. Présentement, l'âge a une connexion pour ces 5 cas-là, pour les individus qui ont une maladie, et l'investigation qui a continué pour l'autre 4 là, pour savoir s'il y a des pièces connexion aussi. Situation maladie corona, j'ai l'occasion pour l'année en pile changement pour façon que le ministère des Affaires transformation sociale a conduit l'opération. Selon le ministre des Affaires transformation sociale, égalité et justice sociale, honorable Leonard Montout, le ministère a tenu pour engager tout officier qui branché et puis département ça là pour essayer d'adresser cette situation comme il qui était déjà annoncé les pauvres qui ont trouvé un petit cacadan en plus à présent et que l'année plus monde que le gouvernement mettait à sur liste les pauvres principalement comme maladie ça là chavirer économie cette liste.
Parce que c'est pour changer. Là, nous avons dernièrement décidé qui pourra sur liste les pauvres bagailles comme ça. La situation est en manière. Avec le coronavirus, la situation est différente. Comme même j'ai dit, l'homme qui peut-être a une besoin à présent à plus haut, avec l'année qui pâté pauvre, peut-être 2-3 mois qui passent, qui ont une situation côté où ça considéré pour parmi les pauvres. Bon, ça nous a fait, nous avons examiné la situation. L'année un mécanisme qui a servi, comme côté, il y a des questions, il y a fait une interview, des questions pour décider est-ce que vous qualifiez ou pas. Parce que ce n'est pas tout le monde qui a juste prendre le monde et bien, par la bouche, comme ça, il y a examiner la situation par interview ces gens avec décider, après évaluation, est-ce que ces gens ont besoin ou pas. Parce que nous voulons faire assurer que ça qui a besoin plus, c'est ça qui a besoin. Avec moi satisfait côté qui nous a dépassé sur ces officiers pour faire un bon travail, pour faire assurer ces gens qui sont sur liste là, ces gens qui ont besoin.
Messieurs, mesdames, ça c'est côté notre nouvelle là aujourd'hui. Je vous remercie autant pour regarder et je vous avoir une invitation pour je ne puis moi considérer conserver la vie dans une autre nouvelle à Koyola. Pour ça, je vais vous présenter Jesse.
Messy appeal Primus. Well, that brings us to the end of NTN Nightly. Join us next time at 7 p.m. with a repeat at 7 a.m. You can also catch up with us anytime on the Saint Lucia Government Facebook page or our YouTube channel. I'm Jessie Leon signing off for now, but do stay tuned for more NTN programming. Goodbye.